Hi everyone, welcome to another review. This time I'm reviewing Dumaguete. I'll be honest, I had been to Dumaguete a couple times in the past. It was just briefly, it was for the day. And my first impressions were, man, there are a lot of foreigners here. And if any of you have watched any of my previous videos, you know I like to stay in places with not a lot of foreigners. But I decided to go ahead and give Dumaguete another try, so I booked a week after Bohol, and it started to grow on me. I started to really enjoy it, so I've now actually just booked another 30 days here, and this could end up being the place where I end up staying. And there are a lot of positives. There are a few negatives, but with any place anywhere in the world there are a few negatives. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into some of the things that I really like about Dumaguete, and then some of the things that I don't like, and give you my overall impression of it as a place to live long term, or even short term as a place to just vacation for a while. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and start off with the first thing that I really like, one of the pros, and that's just the natural beauty around Dumaguete. Gosh, I mean, you're right on the ocean, and you got the boulevard here, or the boardwalk, and it's really nice to walk around at night or during the day. And then there's a lot of Western amenities, coffee shops and restaurants, and you got live music. So I really like the vibe a lot. Just a great place just to hang out, listen to live music, or just go enjoy the view. The scenery down by the water. So love that, absolutely. Another thing is the traffic. The traffic is not bad at all. Now, within Dumaguete, the traffic can be a bit heavy, but Dumaguete in the city is not really very big, so it doesn't take you very long to get out of the city. And then you're surrounded by all this natural beauty, and the roads kind of open up. Most of them are like 4-lane, and much safer for you to drive around on a motorbike. You can see the roadways here. Not a lot of traffic, and there's just a bunch of small little towns all over the place that you can live in. Bakong and Valencia and Dawen and Bais, and there's just tons. And so I really enjoy that part. Another thing that I like, which is kind of rare when there's a lot of foreigners living in a city, is the friendliness of the people. I find the people in Negros to be extremely friendly. So even though there's a lot of foreigners running around, they still seem to be, very friendly towards us, and I like that a lot. Usually, you don't have that feeling unless you're in a smaller town or a city that there aren't a lot of foreigners around. But here, it's noticeably kind of a small town feel, and the people are nice. So I enjoy that a lot. I like interacting with the Filipino people. They're always fun and friendly, and always big smiles on their face. And I got that same treatment here in Dumaguete, even though it's a little busier and more foreigners. So I enjoyed that. By the way, the girl in the video, her name is Roqueza, and she is starting her own YouTube channel. It's going to be called Roqueza's Experience, and she will tour around the Philippines and life in the Philippines from a perspective of a Filipina. So it should be interesting. When it's up and running, I will link her information, and you guys can check out her channel. But she did help me vlog and do Dumaguete, so thank you, Roqueza. But another thing that I did like is I like that the ocean is nearby. A lot of cities in the Philippines, you got to do some traveling. You got to go an hour out or something to get to the ocean. But in Dumaguete, you can get to some pretty decent beaches not that far away. The other thing is the location, and I'll throw up a map here, but the location here in Dumaguete is pretty great. You can hop over to Apo Island to go scuba diving or snorkeling with the sea turtles. You can head over to Siquijor, and that place is fantastic for scuba diving and waterfalls, and it's a fantastic place to go visit. So there's just a lot of places. Cebu, you can get to Cebu really quickly. It's not that far away, and yeah. So I like the location a lot. It's nice and central. So cost of living here in Dumaguete, I've been really pleasantly surprised. Food costs are pretty low. Eating out is relatively inexpensive, and there are a lot of Western style type restaurants, which is fantastic. That is one positive when there are a lot of foreigners. So yeah, there are a lot of foreign-owned restaurants. So I've been able to get Mexican and all kinds of different kinds of food. So yeah, that's been great. The other thing is I have checked out several apartments, and I've found all-inclusive apartments that are one bedroom. I'll throw up some pictures here, but one bedroom apartments for $14,000, which is like $220, and that included, I think, the internet, water, and cable, and electric was separate. Electric you can expect around $3,000 to $5,000, depending how much you run your electric. So I guess the last thing I'll mention is a couple of the negatives that I don't like about Dumaguete. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not a huge fan of having foreigners all over the place. And Dumaguete, no matter where you're at you're going to see foreigners. So friendliness of people is still good. I found the people to be super friendly, but it doesn't have, you're not going to have girls just stop what they're doing and stare at you because they saw a foreigner. No, they're used to seeing foreigners, so it's not that big of a deal. But again, I don't think you should have any problem dating whatsoever in Dumaguete. It is kind of a small town, so gossip is kind of rampant. When you live in a smaller town, people know who you're dating and things like that. The other thing I didn't really like about Dumaguete is it is prone to brownouts. Residents that live in Dumaguete will complain of brownouts once or twice a week. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're 15 minutes. Other times it can be an all-day event. The best thing I could say is if you're living here, be prepared for it. Have a plan of things to do. Maybe go to the beach, head out to the mall and go catch a movie. Just kind of be prepared. Have good supply of water, things like that. So, yeah, if you live here, just expect to have brownouts. It's going to happen. It's one of the big complaints that I hear foreigners talk about. But Dumaguete does have fiber now, and it's kind of all over, even in the smaller cities around Dumaguete. So you can get good internet here now. So other than that, that is my review of Dumaguete. I guess if I was going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, I would give it about a 4.6. I really like it. I love having all the nature and the ocean nearby, Western amenities. People are friendly. The roads aren't too crowded. Roads seem to be in good condition. You've got a couple of malls here. Technically, I think you have 3 in Dumaguete, 2 smaller ones and 1 bigger one, Robinson's Mall. That mall is actually being expanded. They're in the process of doing that right now. But overall, this is why Dumaguete makes the list for places to retire overseas. It's a good choice, and I myself probably going to stay here for a while. So again, if you guys like this, please subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay up to date with the latest content. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.